Hola, people of the universe. It's me again with Reg for another episode of Chef Pilucci. Today is extra special because not only that it's my first month in YouTube in my channel Chef Pilucci, and also it's our 8-year wedding anniversary. So we're here for a quick Q&A. No. And before that, we went to our neighbor a while ago. They're Filipinos. We've been here 3 months today, and we've only been there just a while ago.
Isa
And
lang.
yeah, just once, just today. But they invited us for a dinner on Sunday. They'll make laing and then grilled bangus. And Reg loves laing.
I
So
love you, lying lady,
Laing
and
lady,
paniki.
paniki. I didn't get her
Mwah.
name. I didn't get her name. Okay, let me just put down my hair. Red says it's cute, but I like it more like curlier.
Reina.
Yeah, he said it looked like a queen.
Reina.
Okay, there you go. I think I like it more with hair down. Okay. Here's our Q&A. Um Number 1, how and when did we meet?
Okay. Back in Thomas, East Thomas. I'm sorry, I was about to say something else. East Thomas, outside of Birmingham, Alabama. I had direct TV, and I was watching Jack Reacher because I love action. Tom Cruise when he's doing action movies, and so I uh, I got it, and they charged me. They tried to double charge me for Tom Cruise. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not paying you twice. So I called them and started complaining. I said, wait a minute. Hey, lady, how you doing? And then she was talking about Filipinas. And I said, oh, I said, I'm not paying the twice for uh, Jack
Pay-per-view.
Reacher again. I'm not doing that. So you guys can, forget that. And so she just continued to tell me about how beautiful the Philippines was. And everybody I spoke with from the Philippines talked about their country. You should come. They always say you should come. So I was like, oh, yeah, okay, great. I love to come. And so I told her, hey, I'm enjoying this conversation. I'd like to continue. She, oh, that's against the rules. We cannot talk. I said, well, you have my email. And if you like, you can email me
Mhm.
privately and we can continue the conversation. So I was living with someone else at the time, but we were going our separate ways, and that was a process. It didn't happen overnight, so I'm like, well, okay, I'm ready to. I don't play house, and so I spoke with. I waited until she moved out over the weekend, and I called. I checked my email. There's an email from Pilucci.
Well, just be on the safe side. I emailed him because I just want to thank him. You don't get like that. You don't get customers like that every day. In our account, all you get is irate people. Bill them $1 more on their bill, and they're gonna curse you from head to toe. So it's not every day that we get this kind of customer. So I emailed him to thank him, to appreciate, and then he responded to me, and the rest is history. He called me every day from the day that he responded to my message until we got married.
We called each other.
Yes, so that's every day. That's every day. Um, but I know it's against we haven't really told this story to everyone. This is like more of our what do you call this?
It's private.
Yeah, yeah, we don't
But
share it. But since I
it
resigned from
was
that
only
company,
certain people.
yeah, I resigned from that company. We got married February. I resigned June. Um, I'm not really encouraging. um to women to do that. But well, here,
It's our story.
yeah, it's our story, and we it worked. Um, so there. So after 8 months of engagement, he went there to marry me. That was Feb 18, 2014. 8 years ago, we're still here. We've came a long way from we moved from how many times did we move? 7 times in the Philippines. And in the US, three, from grandma house to,
Masyadong pera.
yeah, so we spent a lot of money in moving Alabama, Nevada. So anyway, so that's how we meet. Second question is, what made you fall in love with each other?
Well, Pilucci is not like other women, in that I am, and I will say that I there were. She's not the only lady I've ever dated or anything like that. But every woman, there's something different, and then, but there's also an improvement. This woman does this. This woman would not do that, and this woman does that. This Pilucci covers a lot of all of the bases, and she also is doesn't have children, but in some ways she's I'm become her child, and so she takes care of me, unlike anyone else ever has. And I say that truthfully. I stand before God and on my death's hour, and I'll say she took care of me. Not we don't always do things, see things eye to eye. However, for the most part, it's rich, and that's what I need because I have sclerosis multiple. I have
Mm-hmm.
multiple sclerosis,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't be looking after yourself. And if you're with me, and you don't understand the trials that every day is different for me. Those are our arguments. Hey, girl, uh, oh, you did, yeah, yesterday I could feel this. Today, I don't feel that way
Mm-hmm.
because every day is different.
Different.
MS is not unlike any disease you've ever seen. Your the reality of MS is change,
Yes.
constant change. I've been able to. I went in the Philippines. I went to the
Yeah.
Philippines. I
He was
married her.
walking.
First, my first time in the Philippines, I could walk. I had crutches, but I walked.
Yes.
I come back to America. Next thing I know, I'm in the house. I cannot move my leg.
Mm-hmm.
I have to call their old dad and say, "Hey, will you get me here? I just so happened to be in Alabama that weekend.
Yeah.
Would you come and take me to the emergency room? I can't move my legs." So I forget how we drug my body outside of the house, and I got into the car, and I was in the ER. I was in the ER for 5 days. They pumped me full of
Yeah.
Solumedrol, and a lot of times, every time, I don't know about that trip going from Pilipinas across the Pacific to America, back and forth. My body, bad things happen. Typically, I end up in the hospital.
Yeah, he always gets sick when he travels, and that's our struggle. That's our dilemma. It's not the same every day. Sometimes you get a strong rage, the next day you get a weak rage. So and you can't rush him. That's what I've learned. So for the people who's looking after people who have MS, I salute you because it's a hard work.
Mhm.
It's it's a constant, what do you call this?
Struggle?
Not really struggle, but it's a constant work, you know.
Mm.
Anyway, admire.
Work
What's the
is
question?
struggle.
What I made fall in love with you? Oh, his this.
Oh,
Yeah. I have my fair share of relationships, and I always pick the one that I can speak level headed. Reg is one of them. Some women would can relate to me that when you're looking for someone, you want someone not really intellectually or intelligent, but at least somehow, you can converse, you can relate your experiences, you can talk about anything. We talk about everything. We have different religion, we have different race, we have different culture. We discuss, we compromise, we argue, but it's part of that's it's part of the marriage.
All right.
All right.
Compromise.
Compromise. I think it's also about quality. Oh, by the way, he doesn't know these questions. I wrote it long time ago. So I think it's also the same with qualities and fall in love, right?
Hmm.
Okay, what makes your marriage work? Our marriage work.
She has to deal with me every day. I guess she's patient enough to. She's Pilucci like stuff right now. However, she's patient enough. She's learning patience, dealing with me. Because, like I said, who knows what tomorrow will bring? Matter
Yes.
of fact, who even knows what the next hour will bring? If you have multiple sclerosis, that's your life.
Yes.
It's not, like I said, gosh, I went from wheelchair to driving. I was a college instructor. I could do math. Then that to teach me to subtract in the thousands place because I was on the spinal cord unit at University of Alabama Birmingham Hospital at Kirkland Clinic, and so it's it is what it is. I went from like well, running. I remember when I
Swimming.
yeah, yeah. Well, before then,
Okay.
I swam after the fact.
And then you do
But
segue, you remember?
oh yeah, I used to have a Segway.
Yeah.
That thanks Mark McCall. I really appreciate Mark gave it Segways to a lot of people with MS. He's a very decent man. I
Yeah.
gave him back the Segway when I went to the Philippines because the battery had gone out. My mother left it off of charge. I told her, you have to keep it charged up. I had asked Mark, I was going to sell it because I was coming to the Philippines. And so, and I had a really nice Segway with the seat on it and everything. And if you standing uses more muscles than walking. So the Segway forces you to stand up. I mean, you can stand up, and then I get tired. I could sit on my seat. So when I was able to use it, which wasn't always, but I enjoyed it. When in East Thomas, I would ride to a store. I forget what the restaurant. It was a restaurant. And I would get tea. I would ride there and get my get stuff on my Segway and come back home. And I would go to a store there, and just I also went to the gym. There we had a fantastic gym. Mr. Bruno, I think he may have been Joe Bruno, donated a gym to the community.
Mm.
Of it was gosh, I forgot the name of that community. Um, uh, Gosh, I forgot. Anyway, he donated a gym to one community, but East Thomas, it's right there on the community. So because I was so on the line, they let me join the gym, and it was almost as good as the one in Lakeshore. Almost, not quite as good as Lakeshore is fantastic, but that was I think it was Bruno. It was nice of him to do that.
I think you answered it all. So, or mainly it's mostly love, understanding. That's how our marriage work. We're in the hospital all the time. Well, it's yeah. Okay. What
Kid Lang.
are some of your favorite things to do together? What's that? You're gonna hit me? Favorite things to do together. Well, we don't have TV now, but we love watching series and movies. We can just lounge all day just
Mhm.
watching. We would even, at one time, we even finish the whole season just one day. Was
I
that
forget which
Cobra
one.
Kai? Something like
It's a
that.
Cobra High,
Yeah.
possibly.
So we can finish the whole season just in one day. So if it's my off, we would even after shift. So we'll just eat dinner and then we'll just watch whatever we can. Sometimes we would skip, but we would watch almost every day. So name it. Well, not everything, but probably we've watched most of it. Um,
And I'm not a TV watcher.
yeah, he's not
By
a
yeah,
TV
I'm
watcher.
not a, but I watch it with Pilucci.
Yes. He watch rom-coms with me. I watch actions with him. I'm not really a fan of sci-fi. So if I have to like this, I have to like the movie or the actor before I watch the sci-fi with him. But mostly we watch action, drama, rom-com. Well, he
Mm-hmm.
watched rom-com with me. Okay, what do you think having children have effect on the marriage and why?
Well, I'm assuming you're talking about mine because you don't have any. Well, mine are in my
No,
life.
no. What is kind of it's like if we have children, do you think it would have been different or
Um, Possibly, but I don't. The thing is, I would love if I tell Pilucci, I wish I met her
earlier?
many years ago, before my first marriage, or during my first marriage, where immediately, at some point, that when the light went off in my head, that you need to get out of this crazy thing. You try everything you can, it's not going to work. Lots of bad things that happened would never have occurred. And I think there would be more sunshine. Well, my cousin John Stallings, a woman when he was in college, and he told me that she said that to get with a lady that makes your light shine brighter. That's what I have here. That my light shines brighter when I'm with her, and
Oh,
this is that's the person you want,
to be with.
to be with, because it can't work any other way. Either they build you up,
Or
they help you reach the become the best that you can be.
best version of yourself.
Exacto,
Or
exacto.
drag you down.
Or yes, and once some of us like me, gosh, my story is harrowing. If you saw the things, if you were able to see what happened to me all in such a short time. And look back on it, and I'm so like I was in my at the time it was started. I was in my late 20s, and people can't could never understand what I went through and the damage of the stuff, that the psychological things, and then the neurological stuff is happening at the same time, and it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. I came very close, like this close
But you
to
survive.
breaking, but
You're
I did
here.
not break.
Yes.
I fight on. I keep on rolling. That's what I tell them.
Keep on
Yeah,
rolling.
keep on rolling.
Okay,
Bring it.
yeah, for me, when I was younger, I just always wanted to have a child. Okay, I'm even willing to do what do you call that, Rich? The
In vitro.
surrogacy. No, no,
Oh,
to
oh,
be
oh,
as yeah.
surrogacy.
And then an ex,
Want to be a surrogate.
an ex told me. He said there are many children that go sideways with one parent. I mean, with both parents. How much more with one parent? So that kind of okay, that hit me. But I wish we have a little Reg, a little Pilucci running around, with curly
Me too.
hair, with our skin color. Probably the baby is darker or lighter. But we won't know.
Yeah, I mean, because we got it both on both sides. It's
Yeah.
interesting about the Philippines. Guys come to me and say, "Man, I wanted me to be Pinay,
Yes.
a Filipina," and I'm saying, "Well, pick what you
Pick what?
want.
Yes.
What shade of chocolate do you want? Because you can have white chocolate
Yeah.
all the way up to dark chocolate in the Philippines. So
Yes.
pick it.
So what
What do
kind
you
of
like?"
chocolate am I?
You're kind of like a,
Milk.
yeah, kind of a lighter, not a milk. I wouldn't say, yeah, maybe so. I'm not sure. But if in my community, she would be considered a high yellow black girl if she were in my community,
Mm,
because people say we look similar.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
People are telling you became more. You resemble each other every day. Like we becoming more in
Yeah, I
Tagalog we call
mean
it
we
magkamukha.
yeah we because she has Aita, which are black people in her bloodlines. Her
Mm-hmm.
father, her dad was, rest in peace, Alfredo. Alfredo Centeno was a dark skin, darker than me,
Yes.
and Anastasia Centeno is darker than me. So um, my granddaddy was as black as the ace of spades, and my grandmother was a light woman. So we and her granddad Potenciano
He's also
Centeno
dark.
was dark,
Yeah.
and so we no telling when you mix up DNA what do it. And
Yes.
my background is I'm 70% African, 30% European. I would have been considered a quadroon, and I have, according to my DNA, I would probably be more Creole. I have some Spanish and French in my blood.
Mm.
No, not Spanish, Portuguese. The Portuguese is in trace amounts, French more. There's no telling how that happened. Uh, but I would have been a Creole.
Yeah. And going back to the children, I don't think we'll be able to survive it here with the kids, especially we're in and out of the hospital. Philippines, US, we're, the hospital. We almost gave
Pistola.
us a room in the hospital because we've been there all the time. So if you just imagine if we have a kid here, it'll be so hard. That time I can still stay with him all the time because pre-COVID. But now I don't think how it's gonna work. So I think God allowed us not to have children or child. So we wanted to have one. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the children question. The next one is, what advice would you give to someone about finding a mate, about finding a spouse?
What do you mean? Find a Pinay or a
No,
Pinoy
yeah,
or a Piri?
not necessarily. So
Just
just
someone?
finding, yeah.
Well, like I think I already answered that. Get with someone that makes you a better person.
Mm-hmm.
When you find that person and you find yourself doing things that are not in your character, do
That's
not stay. Keep going. Because the very worst thing you can do is uh, allow that your light to go dim, which opens you up for the most horrific things, to the most horrific things that maybe in your own your natural state of mind you would not even contemplate. And you need someone to say, hey, guy, something's wrong with you, or you need that person to say, darling, I don't feel good right now. Something's out. That'll listen to you and say, oh, what's wrong? What can I help you? How can I help
you.
you? Because you also need to say, well, how can I help her? That's it's a give and take. But when you deal with someone and it's take, it's not going to work. It will not work.
What's a tick 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 tick? Meaning the person is only concerned about him or herself.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're not. They've forgotten about you.
They only think of themselves.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Selfish. They become selfish. Well, it's a group a situation where the group is trying to make it, and in her Bible, her Christian Bible, the Jesus said, "House." I think it was Jesus. I don't know. It's in the Bible. I don't know who said it. But they say a house divided against itself can no longer, not long stand. And that's what you want. You want. Boom. We are together. Team whoever you are. Dear Team Jones, Team Jones. If you're Team uh, 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 Centeno, Team Centeno.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Team Soriano, if it's two Sorianos, Team Soriano.
Yep.
Because you cannot not long survive because the world is treacherous and you
Yes.
need someone that's got your back.
And that's me. Okay, for me, advice, um, wait. You know, I got married late. I got married at 37. It's too late actually, because there's pros and there's disadvantages of marrying late. You can't, like me in my case, I'm having problem with my cycle, and then I got married late. So by the time I don't, if I can bear a child, I don't know. I you know if I can bear a child, I don't know if I can. I mean, what my point is, if I married younger, I could have had a 20-year-old by now, or a 25, 27, even probably, late 20s. Um, the advantage of marrying late, you enjoyed your youth. I was able to experience not everything. I don't drink. I did when I was younger, and then I got hospitalized. After that, I stopped drinking. I don't smoke. I never smoke. I hate cigarettes. So I haven't really experienced it all, but I enjoyed my youth. I helped my family. Until now, I'm still helping them. But primarily is you enjoy yourself first before committing to someone, because that's important. That's why people that those, and not all, but some people that married so young, the marriages fail because they're only enjoying themselves, like, while in the marriage. So yeah,
Yeah,
just enjoy. Wait, I mean, there's someone there for you. Out of 7 billion people,
yeah, whatever.
7
It's a
billion,
lot.
there's one for you. You just have to wait, enjoy yourself, reach your dreams while waiting, but there's someone for you.
And be willing to look. You know, if you're an American, there are lots of fantastically wonderful women here in America. But if you can't find her for whatever reason, be willing to go elsewhere.
Yes.
You know, if you find her in our case Southeast Asia, if you find her in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
if you find her in South America, Central America, or some other country, if she's the one for you,
Go for
she's
it.
willing to sacrifice for you, do it. It's
Rich
worth it.
crossed the ocean for me.
Pacific Ocean many times, many, many times. I've
Yeah.
been to the Philippines, I think, 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well,
And I'm
we
on disability, and
mm-hmm.
it can you can make it work. I've been to the airport in China. I don't want to go; it's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
But and they were also people were horrible to me in China. But anyway, I've been to places in the Philippines and Narita Airport in Japan. Wonderful. They treat me very well in Narita. So no telling where you might find your gym.
Yes.
So if you step outside your comfort
Comfort
zone,
zone.
and you meet some people, and then you find out that people,
There's a lot out there.
then you may find someone just like you
Yes.
in another country.
Because us, just like just a quick overview, we're he always tell us we're in sync. Even up to now, I think. We
Well,
would,
not always, but we
yeah,
are.
not always. We would always finish each other's sentences. We would always, not all the time, but we would always think the same. But not all the time. Again, sometimes, but
I'm Americano,
yeah.
Pinay.
Mm-hmm. So find someone that you can be comfortable with. In fact, the first thing, I don't know if it's okay to share, the first thing that I told him when I saw him in the airport Feb 5 of 2014 was, what did I say?
I stink. Yeah, I'm flying. I flew across the ocean.
Yes.
I haven't had a bath in quite a while.
Yes.
Yeah, I stink. I'm so sorry. What can I do?
Oh. No, but that's how comfortable we are. Even so, my mom even told me, "Are you sure you want to marry this guy? You don't want to know him first?" I said, "No. I already know him. We've known each other for like 8 months straight." We talk every day. Like the minimum is like an hour. We even lasted 4 hours, 5 hours a day. So by the time he came to the Philippines, I already know him. Well, not probably all, but because they said you wouldn't really know the person until you're under one roof.
Hmm.
But somehow, we have the same wavelength mentally. I mean, we connect. We connected. We had a connection. So yeah. Okay. Next question. What are your biggest fears about our relationship, about our marriage?
Fears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a fear person.
You're not a fear person. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. We hopefully that we have differences, and just that we fail to compromise. That I get in my corner, she gets in hers. They have the thing that tampo, which I think is a bad thing that the Filipinos do, get upset and don't
Don't talk.
discuss this situation. Um, that would be a bad thing. That we fail to grow.
My biggest fear is if you happen to realize one day that you don't need me, you don't want me, you don't love me anymore. That's my biggest fear. And also, my biggest fear is it's kind of morbid, but if I die first. Yeah, I know because just the thought of mm, mm, just the thought of Reg not having someone who gonna take care of him, that that's my biggest fear. So I
Yeah,
would I told him that well, he said if something happens to me, he'll be alone.
be alone. I'm not doing. I don't like doing this. So if if uh, I'm not, I'm not going to go out there and deal with the crazy situations, stuff like that. It's not for me.
Next question. Kindest thing I did for you.
Hmm. There's so many things. You know,
Just one.
a kind thing you did for me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, gosh, like I said, pick one. I don't, um, I'll tell you this. It's nice when if something happens to me
Mm-hmm.
and she's there, immediately.
Yeah.
Uh, just hey, okay, uh, you know, I don't even like that. Know that with my parents that hey, I'm going to help you. That's the helping me when if I slip. Don't let me catch me before I hit the floor. That is the thing that Pelucci's done for me. I've almost slipped, and I'm there recently. I'm I'm not just but just recently. It's just happened many times before. Uh, Help me before I hit the floor. Other people wait until I hit the floor, and then they look at me. You know, you could have helped me before I hit the floor.
And they would ask, "Do you need help?"
Or whatever help what good why didn't you help me
Before.
before get like all these people they wait until you die and they you're in my will.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. How many times did I almost hit the floor before when you're sitting on a pile of money, Mr. Moneybags, or Miss Moneybags, and you don't uh, say, hey, look here, before you fall, let me pick you up. That's important.
Yeah. Kindest thing that Rich did for me was he wants to go. He did whatever he can to bring me back, to bring me here, not bring me back, to bring me here. We set up a GoFundMe. He
Thank
said,
you to all of
yeah,
my
yes,
Pinoy friends
and
and her
American friends.
friends and my American friends, my
Yes.
classmates. Thank you so,
Yeah, up to
so, so
now we're
much.
still, we owe you a whole lot.
And you're not
Yeah,
forgotten.
we're still
Even if
grateful.
we're not there,
We're grateful for whatever you have done for us from day one. And people are still helping, and it was just kind of overwhelming that people are just, sometimes they would just offer, out of nowhere. Oh, I sent you this, I sent you that. What? And there's this one person, I won't mention her name, but when we move here, um I'm just telling her that, hey, I'm just telling her what's happening. I'm not asking, to be honest. I'm not asking. And then she sent me, can I say the amount?
I don't care.
She sent me $500.
Oh,
She sent me $500. I said, this is your whole paycheck. She said, I know, but you need it. So these people are just so, I mean, it's not about the
it's,
money, okay? It's not even, she didn't send me anything. Though just though, she's my confidant, she's my friend, she's our best friend.
I hear you. That's what
Yes.
that says. It. I hear you.
I said, that's your whole paycheck. She says, I know, but you need it. I said, I'm gonna pay you back. She said, no, you don't owe me anything. So there are still people out there who have good hearts. I know the world is so cruel, but believe me, there's one person, probably, if not a lot, at least one person who cares about you, who knows what's happening to you. And there are a lot of people like that with us. They said, I'm following you. I see what's happening to you. So I'm here to help. And you don't even have to ask for these people. You don't even have to ask. They just give it freely.
Guess what, guys?
Huh?
It's our anniversary.
Yes. And that's why this is our Q&A anniversary.
It's our
Okay. I think we only have a few more questions.
anniversary.
Greatest obstacle we face. Not, I think, not obstacle. You know our story.
Answered.
Obstacles.
Answered.
Hospital, MS.
Oh yeah, like when I did earlier, this gun. They had guns, submachine guns at the hospital in
Pilipinas.
the Philippines.
Yes.
Welcome to the real world.
Yes. Here, what's good
And I'm
about
like, I
UN?
can take these
Mm-hmm.
guys. I told her I was gonna. I told her dad was alive then. I said, I'm not staying here. I see what they're doing. I know they're just letting the bill run up. That's all they're doing. And they won't let me out. If they let me out, I can get the money. It's like a double-edged sword. They keep you in there. You
So the
can't pay
bill
them,
won't
and the
go up.
bill keeps going up.
And then they won't let you out until it gets paid, the bill gets
And
paid.
then these guys have these submachine guns. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, that's scary, but it scares him more than it scares me, and I can take you if you're not careful.
Next question. Sexiest thing about me.
Even with my bad leg, huh?
Sexiest thing about Pilucci.
Oh, mm. What do I find sexy about Pilucci? Well, um, she is an attractive woman. Beyond that, I like the fact that sometimes that she's willing to learn. I like that. I like that. I'm not because stagnation is that's not attractive. Things people don't aren't willing to get out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
Sexiest thing about Reg is mind. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. Before I do the last question, I have asked you this before. Whenever we have someone like an American who'd ask for a Filipina, they would always go to you. They would ask, call Pigis, contact him. He looks happy. What do you think when men would say to you that I want to find a Pinay exactly like your wife? The
Mm-hmm.
reason why I want a Pinay is because of your wife.
Mm-hmm.
What's your comment about that? What's your take about
I
that?
mean, it was good. I like it. I'm flattered that they like my wife. Some of them like her too much. Some of them, you be careful, uh, but yeah, one of my friends, he wanted a laundry list of things. It was hard. It was hard work finding somebody that fit his the
Requirements.
requirements. It was a laundry list of things, and he also had to compromise too. Some, and they're still together. All
They're
right, let's
happy.
yeah, they seem to be very happy.
Yeah.
So that and they have been together for almost as long as we have, and
I think
so
we're just 2 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're 6 years. We're
Yeah.
8, but we've been together 9.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, 9 years.
Because we met June 2013.
Yeah,
Although he didn't really come to the Philippines until 2014 of February to marry me. So
yeah. So hey, it takes money to fly
I
across the
know.
ocean,
That's why.
and you need a passport. Lots of things that need to fall into place. It's not
Yes.
something
It's
that
not just
depends,
going there because,
especially if you have MS. If you have
yes.
something good,
Mm-hmm. I think that's it. Okay, last question. Are we happy?
I'm not unhappy.
Yeah.
The things that bring unhappiness into my life are other people around us, and one of the things do everything to that you can to lessen the noise, because the noise is it's messing with the your happiness. So we left Alabama, came to Nevada to leave the noise,
Yes.
and
And
but
the noise is following us.
yeah, so there's a noise here too,
Ah,
and so that's the thing that you don't want, to don't allow yourself to succumb to the noise,
yes.
because it is not good.
Good. Yeah. But I've always been telling this. Our story is an open book to you, all of you, most of you. Um, we don't. What's that? Auburn.
War Eagle,
We don't have
best
much.
basketball team in the country
Yay!
right now.
We don't have much,
Even
but
if we're
we're
not number
happy.
one, we're
What?
still.
I thought you're number one.
I haven't checked the latest polls,
Okay.
but even that, and let me say this very quickly. I I wear these Auburn things, but my good times and very very bad times in Auburn as well. Um, However, uh, I did not. I'm an alum there, but I did not get an AU degree there. I had to leave, and I got my degree at Miles College and University of North Alabama. So, but I'm a senior at Auburn, and I lived in Auburn longer than any. I lived in Auburn almost. I spent 7 years of my life there, and my people are from down there too. My family is from down in the southern part of Alabama, and so it's nice to be. It's nice there. So that's why I do that also.
All right. That concludes our Q&A anniversary. Happy anniversary, Rich. 8 years and forever to go. So, well, yeah. Yeah. With
Mahal din kita.
talaga?
Oo, talagang talaga.
What's you have always say something.
Ano?
Sobrang sobra.
Oh, sobrang sobra.
Okay. There you go. Our next is Tagalog 101. You know,
Yeah,
we will do it soon. I'm working and he's also doing he's busy also doing. We won't tell it yet because,
I'm writing.
yeah, he's writing a book. So,
Yeah, and also I'm reading too. I'm reading a book that I
yes.
was reading in college.
Yes. So,
And the guy's added, he's doubled the size of the book.
yeah.
Very interesting.
So,
If you're a nerd.
There you go, folks. That concludes our Q&A. It's time check 1:03 p.m. here, Nevada time, Feb 18th, which is our anniversary.
which is Pacific
Yeah,
Standard.
and this is our third month here also in this apartment. That's it. That's about it. Goodbye, everyone. You have a
Paalam.
safe early morning in the US and morning, no, no, Friday morning in the Philippines. Bye-bye. Paalam.
Sa susunod na.